That was interesting, wasn't it? Did you like that? The way it just stuttered. Or stuttered. I tried to put some product in my hair. It's apparently what young people do. Don't know if it's worked. Consensus?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, not bad. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the show. A very exciting show because next week it's...
Expo.
Thank you, Pri, for being on the ball. It's Expo next week and we are chock-a-blocker with some great content. All right, enough. We've got loads of good content. Letter of the week. It is... Oh, you put it over there now. All right, thank you. Can I have them on my hand? Ta-da! E. I like that. It's quite good. You keep finding these little funny ones. I don't know what's that supposed to look like. It's got little eyes. Slightly disconcerting. And Robert just keeps lifting me and lowering me. That's also quite disconcerting. Anyway, letter of the week, E. Okay, so as I said, packed week and lots of breaking news. Now, I could do that, but seeing as I've now been usurped in my journalistic style by my two reporters, our esteemed news editor and fashion icon will be bringing you the breaking news later on. So I'll start with something that did tickle my fancy, which is this story about Nissan. So the Nissan Leaf has been granted vehicle-to-grid license in Germany. So the Nissan Leaf was, this is one we drove a few years ago. It's slightly, well, I can see it's still there. Still there, anyway. So this is an older one. It's now been revamped, and I saw one just the other day. Dead smart. Okay, so the Nissan Leaf obviously is an electric vehicle. Nissan are very, very big into the idea of their cars being not just cars, but also storage devices. And so they have done a deal with Germany, and the German authorities have said that mobile battery storage can be used using these EVs. So what they'll do is, for fleets of companies that have up to 60 EVs, Nissan will provide vehicles with some infrastructure that will allow vehicle to grid. Now, this week, Rob and I went to Lowe's CVP, which was really interesting, and our thanks to Neil Wallace and his team there. And they've been looking at this whole issue of what will happen when we have the energy transition. And one thing that someone raised, which was really interesting, was would car companies be willing to put their batteries into this field of vehicle to grid? If you don't understand what that means, it means that basically the battery on a car obviously has to be charged, and then it discharges as it drives your car. With vehicle to grid, the idea is that the battery would charge, you'd drive it, you'd get home, it would be sitting there charging away, and suddenly there'd be a signal to say, we need some power, can we come to your car and dump it? Well, what does that mean? That means that the battery will have to be charging, discharging much more often. In fact, very frequently, if we're going to have a very responsive vehicle to grid system. And one of the speakers that we saw earlier this week said, don't think the manufacturers will want to go for this. So here we have someone doing it, Nissan really going for it. And this is really interesting because I think if Nissan can prove that this doesn't degrade the life or the half-life of their batteries, many, many, many of the applications of EVs will be opened up. Because right now we do them because they're good and you look like you're a great mung bean eater and it's cool and I'm rich and I'm driving an electric vehicle and I'm doing my bit for the environment, even though I've got 6 holiday homes in Belize. But anyway, normally you're doing it because you're driving. But imagine it is now a fleet option with vehicles that can be used to balance a system. Then we become very, very interested in the whole idea of how renewable energy is used, because you've got batteries in places all over that can be connected and stored. So if Nissan can make this work, if it doesn't cause big issues for their batteries, I would think more manufacturers get involved. And I think that's pretty damn interesting. Jonathan Bestow's got his hand up. Yes. I can't believe this. Go on then, Johnny.
Sir.
Yes.
I was reading a report earlier today.
You were reading a report?
I didn't actually finish reading because I was busy doing other stuff.
Yeah.
But it was suggesting that nowadays EV batteries, the current ones, don't really degrade. Like, they would degrade eventually, but in the lifespan of the car they wouldn't degrade significantly. So it might not be a problem for anyone.
I'll leave that hanging, as they say. Anyway, we spoke to an expert who said it would be Jonathan Bairstow has told you it's not. Let's see what happens. Moving on. Talking about useless things, Unilever and Veolia have combined together to stop us getting rid of useless things and dumping them. So plastic in particular. So 14, this is actually, in a way, I think this is a bigger figure than I actually would think. 14% of plastics globally are recycled. I thought it'd be far less than that. Because if you've ever been to developing nations, like when I go to India, all you see is rivers full of plastic. I mean, the cows are eating plastic. There's plastic everywhere, okay? And of course, when you go to LA, it's full of plastic, but for different reasons. Anyway, they have said that actually, if you look at it, we could recycle far more, up to 40% straight away, if we had what is called a circular economy. That is, the people who make it team up with someone who can get rid of it. So they are looking of how they can come together. Veolia obviously is a big waste company, and Unilever, well, they're one of the biggest brands in the world, make loads of different things. And obviously landfill is a massive issue in developing nations. So what they're trying to do is do a 3-year partnership together in India and Indonesia and look at how they can stop those plastic waste materials getting into the garbage system in the first place. So whether it's kind of the bottles are produced and then they go to whether it's a factory or a restaurant, and then maybe Veolia collects them straight away instead of them being dumped somewhere. I think this is damn good news, and it is really important. Whatever we say, I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I think the plastic stuff that's been going on, it's all good. We should do more to get rid of plastic, but plastic is not evil. It's not the devil incarnate. Without it, you couldn't live. So you need plastic for lots and lots of things. What we've got to do is make sure that we can either degrade it or we can recycle it much better. And we can't say anything. Here in the West, in places like the UK, Europe, America, amount of waste we do. In places that are developing, you could say actually it looks far worse because you can see, as I said, the plastic in the rivers or whatever. But actually there's a real culture, particularly I can only talk really about India, I've been many times, where people recycle things. But they do it in different ways, in slightly toxic ways. But if you can stop people having to do this by having a way that the companies who make it team up with the companies who collect it, and we just try and make that closed loop, I think that's great. And finally, in this section, another story about global resourcing. This is a OECD report which looked at resources and how we're basically screwing the planet. And we know this. But they looked at biomass, fossil fuels, metals, and they're predicting by 2060, now get that, right? 2060, when I will be 92, get that. I'll still be having a go at you then, Bairstow, 92. When I'm 92, they're predicting that global resources consumption will have doubled from where we are today. So that, just think about that, that's only 42 years away. In 42 years, you would double the consumption of things, particularly metals and minerals. You think about all of the things we're going to do, and this is the flip side of renewable energy. The great side of renewable energy is it is renewable power, it is cleaner, all of those things. The flip side is the technology you need around it, and that is principally around batteries. And batteries need, at present, minerals. You need minerals, whether they be lithium, whether it be iron, whether it be graphene, made from carbon, whatever it is. And what they're saying is that we have got to really look at this as a planet. Again, all good stuff. Is anything going to be done? Are we really going to cut back? How are we going to do with this stuff? I don't think it's one of those things that can be raised. I doubt much will be done about it. That's my view. What is yours? Let us know. Get in touch. Use the email. Use the hashtag. You know the score. And now... Oh, podcasters. Didn't say hello. Hello, podcasters. And now it's the banter box. Have you shimmied?
I can't
Do we need
see.
to? We need to get her in. You need to move more. Shimmy more.
Yeah.
There we go. Yes. Actually, you're almost
good?
clashing with me. aren't you?
I can't
My
see
ph-
the screen. It's
My phone is talking to me.
huh?
You don't need
No, because someone's saying I'm clashing on the
No,
screen.
all right, no, this.
Oh, yeah. Stripes and
My watch is telling me. Will you shut up, watch?
the one
anyway.
it's Chinese made. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now, breaking news.
Yes.
Before we do the banter
breaking
box.
news for today is about Quadrilla's announcement. So it's halted operations at its Preston New Road fracking site in Lancashire, and it's the second. It only comes days after it halted operations because of a minor tremor earlier this week. So the government gave the go-ahead for the fracking operations earlier this year.
Yep.
They only started fracking maybe just over a week ago.
Yep. It was a week ago,
And
wasn't
so
it?
far,
Twice it stopped.
Twice it stopped, and this time it's going to be paused for 18 hours in total.
Mm-hmm.
So they detected a minor tremor at 11:30 a.m. this morning, and they expected to resume operations again tomorrow morning.
Right.
Which brings the question
Mm-hmm.
that environmentalists and people
Of
around
course.
the area have been concerned about.
Now, the trouble is this. Now, I think we've showed the footage. I think you can play a bit more of the footage, Tia. Make us small.
Sorry, I'm looking.
Make
at
us
the-
wee.
Oh.
Wee. Make us wee. There you go. Now, this footage is quite old, but it is when I think Vicky went with Simon, didn't she, years ago, to Lancashire. That was 2011? Might have been 12, something like that. And obviously they started, and then there was the first huge sort of, issue around tremors. Then there was a British Geological Report and all of that, and then everything came back as yes, it's all safe. Finally, we had the whole kind of government, backlash from people, camps. You've done all the stories about the fracking. And so the government then earlier this year said, you know what, unconventional gases is the way to go. It's the way to go. Where do you think this is all leaving us now? This is very weird and difficult for a Quadrilla, isn't it?
Yeah, what Quadrilla is saying is it is actually happy about the fact that they've got these systems in place.
To monitor.
Yeah, to monitor these
Yeah.
seismic events, and this is what they're going to be doing over the next 18 hours to see what else could happen, I guess.
Is it just
But-
that site, do you think? What have they said what it is? Because is it the same site that had the problems all those years ago as well?
No, that was near Blackpool.
That was near
somewhere.
Blackpool. So this is a different
This
site.
is a different site.
So that does beg the question, is it the process?
Yeah, because years ago, Blackpool had experienced similar
Yeah.
things. But this is a totally different site. No fracking operations has been conducted at this site. But I mean, like I said, it brings a question up about whether it is a good thing to go ahead with fracking. Does the UK really need shale gas for it to survive?
Okay. Yeah, well, my view is that it's a good thing if we can get it out safely.
Yeah,
And of course, on my recent trip to America,
Vegas.
Vegas, baby, Vegas. But going through the Californian hills, we saw everything. We saw fracking, we saw oil, we saw solar panels, we saw wind turbines. So there's a mix. And I think it's part of the mix. But
Yeah.
maybe our ground is not right here.
Yeah, that's what
the thing.
experts have said. You have seen the shale
It's a
energy
revolution in America. Absolutely.
America, but you can't really replicate the same thing in the UK because of the demographics, the difference,
Yes.
the landscape,
The geology.
and the geology. Yes. So, I mean, this is a project that's started, and it's I think 7 years.
Yep.
We
must
haven't
be.
had fracking in the UK.
I know.
So, I mean, it's another big step we're trying to take. A huge step. Hopefully, it won't come at the cost of the communities around. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. The government hasn't said anything.
Yeah, did you
in terms
contact
of-
Fairs about this in
I've-
response? Nothing.
Yeah, I haven't received it yet.
Okay.
So
All right.
hopefully-
Well, look, we'll watch that story, and obviously we will be keeping you informed
yeah,
on that.
but I just want to point out what Quadrilla said.
Yeah, go on,
just to
give
be
their
fair.
response. Yeah.
So they said these microseismic events, they only result in tiny movements that doesn't actually affect the surface
Yeah.
of the ground, and it causes much less. It doesn't cause any damage or harm. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
very, very, very
No,
minute.
I think that is the thing. You have to be fair.
Yeah.
This is not. We're not about a Richter scale quake. We're talking
Yeah.
about tremors, but as part of the conditions of when they got the light, they have to report.
it to all
Yeah.
the authorities.
Okay. All right. Okay. So there you go. Breaking news brought to you by a Breaking News Journal.
Yeah, it's our top story. If you need any
You could
further
learn a few
information.
things there.
Sounds like it's on shaky ground.
Oi, oi. Oh, God.
Okay, so
Talking of terrible puns, now, we've launched something new, haven't we?
yes. It's
Before you play it, go
it's
on.
called the Muswell Hill moment.
Actually, I think it's called something else. Can we just get the voice from the actor
Yeah.
who provided this?
It's the Muswell Hill moment.
You love that, don't
I
you?
hate it so
I think,
much.
do you know what?
Please
Christina,
let us know what you think about
I
the
think
intro
that's
because
great.
I hate it.
Okay, before we
personally.
play it, what is it?
Yes, so what it is we're trying to get videos out, opinions out about the public from the public.
It's all
to
about you guys
yeah,
out there.
To you, those watching, about any regulatory changes, any new studies that have been done,
Just anything that's
anything
weird
exciting
that we love.
Yes. And this time, I think the last one was about the 2040 ban
Yeah.
on petrol and diesel cars that Johnny did. That's up on our website. Today is all about plastics.
Yeah.
The government obviously earlier this, was it last week? Yes, last week or earlier this week, said that it intends to ban plastic straws, all of that.
Forget all of that
cotton
about that.
buds.
What the sexiest
But
bit of the
this
story is...
follows- This comes... I mean, I'm a little bit skeptical about
Right,
this.
give me, Robert, can you pass me that plastic bottle over there?
This is about
Pree's desk.
plastic in the human body.
Yes, this
So
is good.
is there plastic in your body?
Yes. So every time you drink from this, look, you can see my cameraman's buggered off. Look, I can't get focus
What
on it.
is the cameraman doing?
I
We're
have
not
no idea what he's
sure.
doing. Focus on this boy. Focus on it. Plastic. There we go.
Hey.
Hey. So,
Every
what
time
if every time you took a sip of this, a little bit of plastic got inside?
enters your body,
I'm glad that's closed.
Or
Otherwise, that
from-
could have been really difficult, wouldn't it?
or from food packaging,
Food packaging.
or from the consumption of fish, is what these researchers
Because the
have
fish
said.
are eating the plastic that's in the
in the
sea.
ocean. Yeah.
Can you see how the show's coming together?
So what these scientists did is they examined human feces and
Nice.
found traces of plastic.
Hope you're not having your tea earlier this afternoon.
I mean, okay, let's have a look at. So we went around Muswell Hill, asked the folks here
because
what
the
they
good
thought
folks
about
of
it.
Muswell Hill are very informed. Here's what they
Yes.
said.
It's quite shocking, I suppose, that we've got it in our bodies. I think the whole way we use plastic as a whole is quite concerning at the moment. The fact that it's not mostly recyclable. I suppose I hadn't considered the personal health risks.
We don't know so many things. We use them and then we don't know the harmful result till later. Particularly something, yes, I mean, I'm sure something that we know nothing about, all the chemicals that are involved and whether they are actually retained within the plastic.
I haven't spent a whole lot of time thinking about it, to be honest with you. It's probably unfortunate, actually, but obviously not a good thing. At the very least, we're seeing the kind of the banning of plastic bags. I've got my bag here, which is a step in the right direction, but certainly there needs to be more done. I mean, plastic water bottles are just horrendous.
I think the whole plastic problem in the world is awful, and it's probably in our water as well, tiny particles. And I think we just need to cut down on plastic completely.
The government has to lay down much stricter guidelines what can be manufactured, because if you just leave it to industry, it won't change for a long time because they all want to make money.
Well, I found out just the other day that bottles have plastic in it because I drink a lot of water. And I realised it's got plastic, so I'm not really liking it because I don't know what it can do to my body. So
Yeah. So what?
Hang on, let him finish. There you go.
Okay, I said one. Okay.
Okay.
So I think most of them obviously thought it was not. It was of concern. They're worried
It's
about
not a good idea, is it?
plastic. You're still
on.
drinking from plastic bottles, don't you?
No, not
Despite-
really. No, I got a metal one, and I drink from glass in the office.
Oh yeah, in the office.
See?
Yeah, I think everybody. No, apart from Tia. Tia uses.
Tia's
plastic
got one of
bottle.
those. No, that's a
What
metal
about that
thing, isn't
one?
it? It's metal.
Oh. Okay.
Ah, yeah, give us that, Tia. No, that big one there. See, now these things, they're very popular, aren't they? These big metally
That's
things.
huge to carry in.
Yeah, that is a lot, girl. Flipping out. How much are you
pretty
drinking?
heavy.
2 litres
wow.
a day. My God. There you go.
Yeah, so you need to swap your plastic bottles for those ones.
Or other brands.
Or any other. It does. I don't think it had a brand on it.
I don't know. It does it? Oh,
Okay.
blimey.
The
Anyway.
one thing I wanted to say about this is
Yes.
I was just a little bit skeptical about the study
What?
because I mean I understand the fact that there could be traces of plastic in our body. I totally understand
And our
that.
feces.
Fish do eat a lot of plastic.
Yes, I understand that, but this particular study only had 8 participants.
Yeah, but they could have been 8 very polluted people
They
because
could
they
be, and
absolutely
they're
tell you
from
what's going.
the UK, Finland, Italy, Netherlands, Poland,
Oh, that's a good
Russia,
spread.
and Austria. Yeah, so I just wanted to make it clear that it was just
Okay.
8 people who were.
Anyway, let's not let the facts get in the way of a good story. We have got plastic in us.
just loves it.
I love
because
this story. I
it's
think it's
about
great.
feces
It's about
and-
feces, and there's more of that coming up later in the show. But there you go. I
really?
think, wow.
Oh yeah,
I think
water.
Gallons.
plastic. I've always said some people keep plastic bottles for ages, use them for a bit, and then get rid of
Actually,
them. I told
For
you
a
that
long time, yeah, for a long time.
I've told you
I
that,
was
haven't I?
reusing plastic bottles
till I told her.
numerous
Have a number on the
times.
bottom for a safe amount of reuse.
There you go. I didn't know that. Look, Johnny
That's how
knows
you
these weird
said.
things.
So this is.
No,
Did I?
someone said, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it's.
Hang on.
Recycling symbol has a 1. I'm pretty
I can't read anything anymore. I'm too old.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No,
I'm
show
pretty
it to
sure
the
that's
camera.
Well, it says 3.
No, it says 1 on the in the recycling.
No, that's just what it says 502.
No,
Can't
that's
use
not
it.
the one. This one, 1.
Yeah, what does that mean?
Inside the recycling
I'm
symbol,
pretty
so you
sure
can
that means it's
recycle
only
once.
safe to- okay.
No,
Oh,
you're
maybe.
talking rubbish, aren't you?
No,
it
I
doesn't
think,
tell you how many times you can drink it.
I think that is
Who
it.
told you
Somebody
this?
told us in the
Is that
office,
BuzzFeed, Facebook?
Oh, God, I wouldn't trust those news sources. Anyway,
and that's
Fake
Robert
news.
drinking using plastic bottles.
all right, enough of that.
Finally, about new regulations, potential new regulations for smart energy devices.
Super smart.
So that could be fridges, electric heating, battery storage, air conditioning systems.
Yep.
So what the government has said is that they are planning to introduce these smart regulations, and that will initially apply to those technologies I mentioned. And it would be based on things like cybersecurity, data privacy, the grid stability, and how easy it is to use for consumers. Because what the government has said is that it's not convinced that just having voluntary standards for companies is
Yes.
enough to tackle these issues. But they haven't actually said this is when we're going to set it out. It's going to be part of, obviously it has to go through Parliament. So
There'll
it
be a
depends with the Brexit.
consultation and then
Yeah,
blah,
so
blah,
because
blah,
of
blah.
Brexit, there's a lot of other
But-
debates going on.
This is the sort of stuff that we're discussing next week
Yes, Energy Lab Expo.
in our Techno Stream. But it's very
On
important.
Halloween,
If you
during-
think about all of the elements of smart infrastructure that we'll need, you do need some sort of guidance on all this.
Yeah, and also the government is also considering a type of like a labeling scheme.
Yeah.
So a labeling scheme for appliances. So when consumers are buying, say, a fridge or a freezer, they can make informed choices about whether it's energy efficient, how good it is for the environment, that kind of thing. So
Excellent.
if it does go forward, I think it's a good thing.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And you'll be there next week?
Yes, and we'll be hosting, Jen and I'll be hosting some sessions,
My
streams.
God.
Yeah, so hopefully, and also we'll be doing Voxes. So hopefully, if you're around, do come and speak to us. Let us know what you think of the event, how amazing it is, and if you have any complaints. we're
And she'll
happy
have a
to hear
new
that.
outfit, all made of plastic.
No, I'm not too sure about that.
Thank you,
Okay,
Priyanka.
thank
And now from the beauty
To the beast.
to the beast. He's here.
Hello. That was complete rubbish, by the way, that thing I told you.
Yeah, of course I
just
knew.
looked it up.
It was one of those facts. Why am I holding your microphone for you?
Because I
She
wave
just
it
did it.
around.
All right, maybe I will.
No, I'll
actually.
hold it. I need to practice.
All right,
I've got to learn
fine.
somewhere, haven't I?
Okay, so let's start with
Noise pollution.
something
Noise!
that goes on a lot in this office.
Yeah.
Now, this, yeah, can you make
Our
it
neighbours
small? I
said
love
that.
this. Look at this. Oh, yeah, and we had a complaint about us the other day. Let's just do this.
And you see, if you look at this picture, there's noise pollution going on and air pollution.
So this is pants, isn't
It
it?
suits the story completely because, so we hear a lot about air pollution.
Yes.
Damaging people's lungs,
Yes.
triggering people's asthma,
Yes.
but also increasing cardiovascular disease.
Yes.
But
This is where I'm going to diverge from you.
This
Go
new
on.
report from the famous Swiss Tropical and Public Health Institute has conducted a survey.
This is not Toblerone.
No, actually.
Okay.
Toblerone's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, it basically says that noise from train, cars, aircraft, they cause stress to your body.
Yeah, okay. If you live right next to a train line or an airport, I can get that.
Yeah, but stuff like in this alleyway, we've got lorries coming up and down.
Yeah,
the
but-
stress is crippling. If you live under the flight path in like places like Richmond
What, posh
wherever,
places?
You know, yeah, Richmond in Surrey.
And sorry.
But yeah, basically it stresses out your body. Your cardiovascular system doesn't like it, and it
Yeah.
can trigger a heart attack. And so this report is.
Whoa.
Well, so let me finish. So the report says that when people conduct air pollution surveys and say, you know, people living on this road die 5 years earlier,
Yes.
or whatever it is, they're saying part of that premature death is caused by noise pollution as well. So air pollution is actually overstated.
It's pants. I don't believe this. I can believe that noise can be annoying. I can believe that noise can be stressing.
Yeah, but did you know that 10 decibels of noise can actually increase the risk of a heart attack by up
What?
to 3.4%? Yeah, go on. Polish me off.
Oh, God. All right, okay. I don't know what you think about it.
Yeah, please let us
Let
know.
us know. I'm not convinced. But here's a story that is very good. Questo è una storia fantastico. E in Italia, in Bologna, sì?
See, Bologna, in the Italian city of Bologna.
Dimmi.
Biking in
Dimmi.
Bologna.
Bicicletta, dimmi.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Right, so,
Go on.
let me know if you find this convincing.
Go on then.
There's
So, by the way, can we make it small? Because this is a great picture. That is very... In fact, you can put us in the beer.
round of applause
Make
for
us really
Bertie.
small. Put us in the beer. Go on. Look, we're going to go in the beer. Look, watch this.
You're not drinking,
No,
son.
I'm not drinking either, but look.
Can you keep us there for the
Look,
rest of the
it's
show?
drowned.
It's Friday.
It's terrible. Anyway, that's good. So there's a beer, and there's a bike, and there's Bologna.
I don't know the connection
I
between
don't think that's
them.
Bologna. That actually looks to me like it's Florence. Is it
No,
Bologna?
it is Bologna.
Okay, cool.
Okay, so
Make us big again.
there's a scheme that the Bologna municipality and city council
Sì.
have launched
I paesi
in
di
collaboration
Bologna.
with
Sì.
the EU, who
La
funded this
città.
app. The app is called Bella Mossa. What does that mean?
Bella Mossa.
Yeah.
Beautiful something. What's Mossa?
Job,
Really?
apparently.
Lavoro.
Well, good job, apparently. But
Okay.
anyway, this scheme
was in Bonn,
it
anyway.
tries to get people to stop driving their petrol and diesel cars and start walking, running, cycling, using public transport and so on.
I walked here today.
I support it, but it's not gone fully green and boring because you can basically use tokens with this app from
Yeah.
doing green journeys and use them to get discounts on things like pizza, beer, ice
Now
all-
we're talking
all the
Italian
good
style.
stuff.
Absolutely.
cream, all the good stuff. So, yeah, sorry, I was waving the microphone around. I got carried away. So, if you do 8 journeys or so, the app records you, make sure that you're not doing anything naughty and cheating, like driving your car very slowly.
You get
so
credit.
pretend you're walking. You get credit, and 8 like shortish journeys on foot is enough to get you 1 ice cream.
So all the calories you've burned, you can put back on in one save. He's useless at that, isn't he? He really is.
I'm just too animated.
Give it to me. Right. Anyway, what do you think of it?
Yeah, I think it's good. I'd love a scheme like that because I walk around, cycle around mainly for transport. So I'm doing the stuff anyway. So I might as well be rewarded for my actions in pizza and beer. So
Yeah. Let's not talk about your transport habits. Let's move that on after.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Am I allowed to mention their name? Can I name and shame them?
Who? Name who?
My rail operator,
Of course you can name them. They've been terrible.
Southwestern.
Yeah. God, they're absolute pants, and no one would deny
I'm
it.
going to jump in front of one of your trains these
Yeah.
days.
Excellent. He didn't mean that, by the way.
You're going too slowly.
Yeah. Exactly. And then finally, this one is definitely you.
Yep. Yeah. Poop. Cramp. Shit. Yeah. So as soon
That's
as
not just exclamations.
it's a swear word, SHIT.
Is it a swear
no,
word?
it's not a swear word.
told me.
No.
Yeah, you should say poo.
Oh no, this is a broadcast. I can say
Okay,
whatever
look,
I want.
look, listen, I'm the editor. You can say shit. Go on.
A sewage treatment plant in Basingstoke, near where I live, coincidentally,
God.
is actually it's owned by Thames Water.
Yes.
And they basically they've used some of the poop on supply to generate some gas and then
Yeah.
turn that into electricity, which runs the lights and machinery in the plant. Now they have spent £53 million on tripling its generation capacity.
Wow.
So now it's 100%
Is it poop powered?
powered. Yeah,
Oh, we've got to go and film that.
yeah.
You're
And
going.
It's in Basingstoke. It's near my house.
You're going.
Nearish my
You're
house.
definitely going. I want you to stick your head in that dome.
Yeah,
and
I'll
sniff.
swim in that dome.
Scratch and sniff.
Yep, and so that's
So hang on, this is the poo that's coming in.
from 130,000 people.
Right,
That's
and
a
then
lot of poop.
what are they burning in it? They're just the organic matter or something?
Without getting too graphic, they heat it up.
Yes.
And they keep on heating it until it's like a bubbling broth.
Yeah. And that produces gas.
And that produces
That
gas.
normally happens in this office anyway on a Friday afternoon.
They collect the gas that comes
Yeah.
off it.
Yeah.
And then they burn some of that gas, and that powers, the actual building
Clever.
itself. Some of that gas gets shipped elsewhere for people to use.
Excellent.
And sold
I
back
think,
to the
do
grid.
you know what? Good on you, Thames Water. This is a great thing.
And so it's quite interesting. It's obviously a much smaller proportion, but so 130,000 people contribute every
Yeah.
day to this sewage.
Normally after their Weetabix.
Yeah, but the electricity that creates can power 3,000 homes. So 3,000 homes out of 130,000 people, I think it's still quite good,
That's not bad.
considering that
No.
this is kind of...
No, it's not bad
sewage
at all.
is a generally underutilised resource.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
You've got that end of the stick there. Okay, good. Anything else you'd like to say to our audience?
I'm looking forward to seeing them all at Expo.
Excellent.
With our Energy Minister, most of all, I'm very excited to see Claire
We
Perry.
know you are.
Yep, and as always, you can get in touch with us at stories@energylivenews.com for your input, complaints, praise, anything really. So,
It's all kicking off.
yeah.
Thank you, Jonathan.
Thank you.
Goodbye. So there you go. We do have to teach him, don't we, Rob, how to hold this. It's not exactly difficult, right? When you talk, it goes towards your mouth, not that way.
Gesticulation.
Pants. Anyway, let's quickly end with what's coming up. Well, I don't need to tell you because you know it's Expo next week. Let me move over. I'm shifting. It's quite good. So, play the vid. So, Claire Perry is coming along. We have got 440, I think, end users registered. Still room for a couple more. So, if you want to get yourself down there, then get in touch with Harry. It's all on our website and you'll be registered to come along. We have 4 fantastic speakers for you doing our session on the CEO question time. So we have representatives from EDF, ABB, SSE, and who's the other one? Scottish Power. So plenty to do. And then 32 sessions. That's right, you heard me. 32 sessions across the day, covering everything from where you'll get your energy supply, technology, the smart stuff that Pri talked about earlier. We'll be looking at plastics, we'll be looking at regeneration, we'll be looking at EVs, we'll be looking at so much stuff. So we're really looking forward to seeing you on Wednesday next week, and the team will all be there. You'll be able to meet us all the wonderful people who work behind the scenes. Woo, there we go. Well, the one, anyway. And then also, we've got revealed, and it'll be revealed on our website, ELPA. So ELPA is... I don't know what happened there, Pri. Are you right, Pri? She just burped her. She got the hiccup of delight. 6th of December. I may be there. I may not be there. But she's gone off on one. It's just happening, right? Before the show ends, it's International Pumpkin Day. Nice. That's just disgusting. Why have you found... What is that? That's just... Only Tia would find this. Does it fall on the kid's head? Oh, look, this little kid gets run over by a massive pumpkin. Tia, you are evil. That's the only thing we could find to celebrate Pumpkin Day. Look this little kid, look, standing there. And then look, dunk, 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 bonk. Oh. Well, I think that you should have a happy, pumpkin-y, Halloweeny day, but... Most frightening things. Please, hiccups. Okay, on that bombshell, before we all fall apart, we'll see you next week. Come and see us at Expo. Bye-bye.